Joining me now here in the studio is Pankaj Singh, former Deputy National Security Advisor, and we also have Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad joining us. I'm going to come to you now, Pankaj Singh. India has struck at 9 high-valued terrorist-linked locations, and it was a coordinated launch of 24 missile strikes. When we look at these details come in, it is calibrated with calculated and with immense precision. There's been a lot of planning which has gone in for this kind of strike which has been carried out by the Indian Armed Forces.
Absolutely correct, because having been hit and 22 innocent tourists who were killed in a very barbarous fashion in Pahalgam, I think India waited for almost about
2 weeks.
2 weeks to see whether Pakistan was really keen on dismantling the terror camps or doing something against the terrorists who had perpetrated this kind of an act, but having seen that nothing at all was happening. So building upon whatever intelligence India had earlier on from the intelligence agencies, based on the surveys done recently, based on the satellite and physical sources giving precise information about the terrorist camps, the launch pads, so you can very well see with precision guided munitions, with very precise kind of warheads which would not damage the civilians or take lives of the civilians. Very precision mounted strikes have been done as far as 100 to 125 kilometers inside Pakistan, which has never been done before, and as close as 8 to 10 kilometers near the border. So with this kind of precision strikes, and you could very well see, and you did talk about the two wonderful ladies who gave the press briefing in the morning from the Army and the Air Force, with graphics and with incontrovertible evidence being shown that these precision strikes against specific buildings and structures were done where there was no population,
yes,
no civilian population living nearby or villages. With these kind of video graphic evidence, I think it will be very little for Pakistan to refute or to contradict India's claims in this direction.
Yes. So now let me bring in Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad. Lieutenant General, as someone who was in the front line in 1971, how do you look at the events of the last few hours?
Well, the last time we went to war in 1971 was a conventional war, started with the eastern sector. The task was to liberate East Pakistan and make Bangladesh, a completely different kind of task. And the Pakistanis wanted to convert it into a war, and on 3rd of December they attacked India with their Air Force, and the Western Front opened up. And then again the full-scale war started in the Western Front. So that was a regular military operations on both fronts, and the Pakistan Army fought on both fronts and lost on both fronts. But today the situation is entirely different. Today the situation is such that we have a very, very specific task to perform. We are not fighting a war, and
yes,
the Prime Minister needs to be quoted over and over again to say this is not an era of war. So obviously he is not foreseeing a full-scale military operation or a war. At the same time, he has given a very clear-cut task to the military, not only to the military, but to the entire national machinery, which includes all departments in the government of India. And that task is destroy terrorists and their backers. Now, important thing is the word backers, which means that you first destroy the frontline terrorists who sit on the line of control and cross into India and create terror incidents here, and also then their leaders who sit in Bhavalpur and Mudirke to be also neutralized, and also the backers who essentially he relates to the ISI and the military chief, the present army chief of the Pakistan Army, who is making such statements as he did on the 16th or 15th of last month. So the task is very clear, and therefore response also has to be specific, target oriented. So we are not wanting to escalate into a national war. We are only targeting specific targets of terrorists and specific target of those people who perpetrate, who are the mastermind, the architects behind this terrorism. Some bit of target has been, some bit of operations have been completed. What the Prime Minister laid out to the country, the initial frontline terrorists have been fairly neutralized. The Bhavalpur camp and the camp in Munirke has also been reasonably neutralized, but leaders are still missing from the list of neutralization. So also the ISI and the army chief. The important thing is we have reacted in the past to these terrorist incidents, and like Balakot, like Uri, and like many others. But that has not finally hit the military of the Pakistan Army. Therefore, if we need to really eliminate terrorism, which is the objective of the Prime Minister's task to the nation, then we need to see that we also do some military action, some kind of damage to the army of the Pakistan Army. Now that may involve escalation, which we don't want to do. Therefore, we have to do targeted killing within these institutions as well. And there are ways and means to do targeted killing in the modern times. The times have changed since Balakot. Technology has improved considerably. The world relationships have changed considerably. We have strategic partnership with very advanced countries in the world who are ready to share intelligence with us. Therefore, all these operations which are target oriented have to be based on strong, actionable intelligence.
That's right.
Which is why it took us 15 days to do this. So we have done some bit, some more is to be done, and we will do it. We will have to have some time available for it. It cannot be done tomorrow, day after, the day after. The targets that still need to be neutralized need tremendous amount of information.
That's right.
Now, as far as the conventional war is concerned, let me put it very clearly that conventional war is something that Pakistan Army never trained for, and when their President Ziaul Haq said that we will never be able to defeat India in a conventional war, he is the one who coined the word, we will bleed them by 1,000 cuts, which is why the terrorism started about 35 years ago. And therefore, all the effort of the military of Pakistan is focused towards promoting terrorism and making India bleed by 1,000 cuts, which to a great extent has been successful. Therefore, we must understand that first step has been done today. The second step needs to be done. It may take time to do it, but the important thing to watch and see is that is Pakistan Army going to retaliate, which is what is the question, biggest question in everybody's mind, including yours and mine. So the question is, what is Pakistan's reaction? Okay. Some information is coming from Pakistan to say, well, I don't think we'll react. Some people say, no, we will react. So we don't know what's exactly in the mind of Pakistan Army. But if they do react, then I think the Indian armed forces are fully prepared.
Okay, so since you're talking about the preparation,
point in this military operations is this.
Lieutenant General Prasad, since you've spoken about the preparation.
I'll just give you the military operations in it.
Yes, I'm going to come to you in 30 seconds because today was the day of mock drills which were carried out throughout the country. In fact, we covered it extensively as well. Here's a report and then I come back to the guests.
The Ministry of Home Affairs briefed the state governments to conduct mock drills to check the preparedness of citizens and the civil defense. Here in Bengaluru, right outside the Fire and Emergency Services headquarters, you're looking at the teams conducting a mock drill of a rescue operation, going in an inflated boat to a small island, rescuing an injured person, and by the banks you're looking at multiple civil defense personnel using a stretcher to get this injured person from the boat towards an ambulance as soon as possible. This is once again, mind you viewers, a mock drill, especially in the light of the recent attacks that India have carried out on terror bases in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Such drills, of course, become very important. Over the course of the next 7 days or more, there will be multiple mock drills that will try and prepare the police, the civil defense, the fire personnel and any security personnel to really be prepared for any sort of eventuality. Air raid sirens, of course, are going to be blaring in different parts of Bengaluru, Karwar, Raichur, Mysuru and Mandya over the next few days. There's also going to be other forms of rescue operations in different places. Now here you can also see, of course, another boat that is also making its way here. That's once again emulating another rescue from a nearby island. They too will, of course, come in here towards the banks, where another team of the civil defense personnel with a stretcher will try and emulate another rescue operation. So this is an extensive mock drill that's being carried out. More importantly, we should note that, like I said, it's not just this particular form of rescue, but other forms of rescue as well, which will be simulated over the next few days to ensure preparedness of the police, preparedness of the civil defense, and more importantly of the citizens alike to respond to any sort of emergency situation that could come by, especially considering the fact that now it is a very active and volatile situation with Pakistan after India, of course, carried out those precision strikes in different parts of, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Pakistan in itself. With video journalist Govind, this is Deepak Bopana for NDTV.
It is being seen as a defining moment in India's modern security doctrine. It was swift, it was surgical and unapologetically assertive. Lieutenant General Prasad, I'll give you the last word and the last word tonight. I want to understand from you the long-term impact, or perhaps what will be the immediate short-term impact. Will this be a deterrent, Operation Sindoor a deterrent, or will it actually lead to future confrontations is the big question. In terms of India's preparations, how battle ready are we?
Well, I think certainly we are better battle ready than what Pakistan military is. But there's one important thing that I want to bring to your notice. I'm talking about conventional response from Pakistan military towards India, whether it's Army, Navy or the Air Force are going to attack us or respond to whatever we have done in last night. Please understand that today, after 15 days of preparation, Indian armed forces and the Indian government knows exactly where the Pakistan army is mobilized. We have got such a fantastic availability of information through satellite imagery that every single formation of Pakistan, we know exactly where it's located today. So in these 15 days, we have gained that information. Today, we have full information of enemy deployment. Now, should they want to do anything, we are prepared for it. They'll be foolish enough to try and do a conventional operation either on the land or in the air, for which they will suffer more casualties. So the answer to your question, and many people are asking, will there be a response? Well, I cannot say yes or no. But if there is a response, they will get a very befitting answer to it. And that may result into an escalation, which we don't want. Our government is very clear. This is not an era of war. We don't want to have a full-scale war with Pakistan. We want to continue with our economic, we continue with our water treaties, we want to continue with the financial actions task force, etc. And also limited, targeted attack against militants. If this is our philosophy, then it will be foolish for Pakistan to try and do a conventional response to us. I don't think they'll be foolish enough to do it, because they know if this happens, the response from India will be very severe. So the best answer is they should try and see that how terrorism can be stopped. The answer is they won't do it, and we have to do it. Maybe today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 10 days, 15 days hence. Nobody can say. But the important thing is, please let's not forget, it's a targeted action against militants in Pakistan and not an escalation to a regular war.
Yes. So non-escalatory is what the government says. That's what armed forces have said. Pankaj Singh, in terms of preparations, we are seeing, civil defense being made ready. There has been sirens and blackouts to prepare Indians and the civilian population as well. India is carrying out what will be seen as diplomatic messaging, which has been combined to create a multi-dimensional operation with regional and international consequences as well. How do you look at the overall messaging which has come in from Government of India today?
The Ministry of Home Affairs on the 5th of May was very clear that we must carry out these civil defense exercises, which have not been carried on for a long time on such a huge scale. 244 districts of the country are to undergo this kind of exercise. For the schools, they are carrying out the exercise in the mornings, which will let the children know who to respond to, what to do, when to do, and where to go in times of a crisis or any kinds of exigency happening. The situation currently is very, very volatile, very vulnerable, very explosive. So it's absolutely essential that school children get to know, because they are the ones who are very, very vulnerable and the future of our country also. Most of the cities are undergo the evening 4 to 7 blackouts, sirens, evacuation drills, search and rescue, and try to see that all the communication, transport facilities keep working while sensitizing the public to this kind of an eventuality in case it happens.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Pankaj Singh, former Deputy NSA, and Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad joining us on this broadcast. And that's all from me on this edition of The Last Word.